Hey people, this is Ashli.
Hey people, this is Ashli.
Hey people, this is Ashli with Music After Dark HTX. Hey people, what's up? This is Ashli with Music After Dark HTX, our Monday edition. I want to start calling it that, our Monday edition, because we're at Big Al. I love it. Let me get shout outs out of the way real quick. Big, huge shout out to Big Al for letting me obviously set up and film here every Monday. I love that. Shout out to our food vendors that are here every Monday now. That's very cool. If you're ever needing something to do on a Monday, definitely come out, check them out. Food's awesome. $5 pours. Sports now, it's baseball season, so that's a thing. Yay. And the Houston Collective. Every Friday at 8 p.m., tune in. You get to rehear all of Music After Dark's podcasts. That's exciting. So you guys will eventually be there.
That's exciting.
On the Houston Collective.
Cool. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Ooh.
So yeah, let's. I'm excited because I'm going to learn so much tonight. Like I already know that. So let's start with names and your band name.
Okay.
Who wants to start?
I'll start. I'm Ben, and the band is called Something Else.
My name's Jerel, and I play guitar.
And I play bass.
Okay, so we're missing a singer and a drummer.
And another guitarist.
And another guitarist.
Yes.
Do you guys want to say their names so people know?
Yeah. Brian is our guitarist, James is our drummer, and Roy is our singer.
Okay. And then what's the name of the band?
Something Else.
Something Else.
Yeah.
Okay, who named the band? Was it one of y'all?
It was me.
Okay, so where'd the name come from?
So it was years ago now, and I wasn't thinking of how easy that would be to Google, unfortunately. But it kind of came from two places. Like, I thought it would always be cool for a singer to be like, hey, we're something else, that phrase. And then there's also like a TV show in England in the late 70s that played like punk bands. It was called Something Else that had like a lot of bands I liked, like Joy Division would come on there. So.
Dude, that's cool.
Yeah, it can be hard to find us. It usually helps to search the band name and then a song of ours as well. Because there's specifically one. There's a Something Else from, I think, Columbus, Ohio?
Yeah, they broke up. They didn't make it.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you just need to personalize it maybe? Like Something Else HTX or
Well, we do that.
Houston or something?
That's our
Yes?
That's
That's
Yeah.
okay.
We
Yeah,
do
thanks for
Something
plugging
Else
that. That's actually
There we
our
go.
Instagram.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
thank
what
you.
are, here
Yeah.
we go. I'm
Yeah.
just like totally guessing.
Yeah.
So what are your social media hashtags?
Yeah,
Is that
that's
what it
right.
is?
So, yeah, our Instagram is at Something Else HTX.
Okay.
Then we have a website as well.
SomethingElseTheBand.com.
Yep, that's right.
I love it. How long have you guys been together for?
12 years now, actually.
What?
So a long time. Yeah, very long time.
Dude, that's a long time.
Yeah.
Wait, how old are y'all?
29.
Okay.
I'm 28.
Y'all are
Yeah,
babies.
all of us are around that age. Our drummer is the youngest. He's must be 27.
27, yeah. But we formed the band when we were real young. It was like the first band any of us had. So that's why that counts for, I think, the length of time that it's been a band.
So you guys have just been together. So like out of high school, did y'all
High
meet? Did you guys all go to school together? You guys are all Houstonians, right?
That's right, yeah. We all went to school together. I mean, I knew Jerel in kindergarten, technically, but we weren't even friends back then. But, like, I knew our guitarist since, like, first grade. And then,
Dude,
yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know any. I've not known anybody that long. Holy crap.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
cool. Yeah, I mean, I always wanted to form a band with friends. Like, that was part of it. Like, I didn't even really care if people knew how to play an instrument. I think everyone pretty much did, though, which was good. That was a plus. But it was always just, I think, fun, the idea of forming a band with friends. But
So I was a late joiner, actually. I joined senior year of high school. It was
junior year.
junior year.
Yeah,
It
right.
already existed before then. It had a different name, actually. The band was called Sea of Sulphur.
Yeah. I don't know
Sea of
why.
Sulphur.
Yeah, don't
It
ask me
smelled
why
pretty
that
bad.
one formed.
It would
Yeah.
smell pretty bad.
Yeah, I didn't consider the smell when we came up with that name, but yeah. So there was a prior iteration, but we really never even played a show or anything in that iteration of the band. So
Where do you guys play shows at now. Are you guys playing shows?
Yeah, we are. I mean, we've played pretty much all over town. I mean, we really like. I feel like post-COVID, the music scene really improved in Houston, and there was a big DIY thing going on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would agree with that for sure.
Yeah, and so like House of J, shout out House of J, they really had our backs kind of in that 2021, 2022 timeframe and just would put us on all these bills. And so that's like a place we probably played more than any other venue. But we've done a couple White Oak Music Hall shows as well, and that's been a lot of fun.
That's cool.
Yep.
That's a big deal. I've had people on this podcast that like aspire to play there, so that's a big deal.
Yeah, we've played Dan Electro's a couple times too.
That's
That's
true.
another favorite of ours. We've played a lot of venues that no longer exist.
Shout out
unfortunately.
Satellite Bar, yeah.
Satellite Bar.
Acadia probably. Did you guys ever play at Acadia when they were open?
Oh, I didn't even realize that place closed. I didn't know that.
We did not play up there. I think we dropped a
sad.
couple of shows, but it was it was a little off the beaten path. But
Fitzgerald's. We played at Fitzgerald's
Yeah.
before they closed as well.
Played
There's
at
now a
Numbers a
parking
couple-
lot right there. On,
You played at
Cedarwood.
Numbers before?
Yeah, we played Numbers a couple times, but they do fewer shows now, so that's been
They
that's
do.
been
It's,
years. Yeah,
Yes.
but it's fine. I like to go to
Yeah.
80s dance night.
Shout
there.
out to Numbers
Yeah.
though. Yeah, like
Yeah.
that's,
Yeah,
that's
shout
a
out
very
Numbers.
interesting. I love Numbers.
Haven't seen that documentary. I've been.
It's good. I've seen the documentary. I recommend
Numbers
it.
is not for everybody. It's like literally stepping into a time machine, I think.
Yeah.
So I love it, but I have a younger sister that visited there while she was in town for the rodeo and called me like on a Sunday being like, have you ever been to Numbers before? And I'm like, yeah, what were you doing at Numbers? Like,
Yeah,
like, what were you doing there?
wild place.
Yeah, it's I didn't know they used to do shows there.
They still do sometimes. It's infrequent, but
We
some-
used to play shows at Natsuo as well. I think they also have toned down the amount of shows that they have.
Dude,
Yeah.
get in my DMs wide. Now I want to hit up Numbers and be like, what are we doing?
Yeah,
Let's
Friday
do
night.
some-
Friday
let's
night
do some
Numbers. Yeah.
Ish. Yeah, Numbers. Wow. Dude, I love that. So, what kind of genre would you say you fit into?
Post punk,
Post-punk?
probably. Yeah. I mean, hints Numbers. Definitely like that influence comes through. I mean, some people shy away from specific labels. I mean, I don't mind it. I like post punk. People think we sound post punk. It probably was an influence. So yeah, post punk.
Okay, because that's usually a question. Like,
Yeah.
what are your musical influences?
Yeah, most people say. I think the immediate reaction would be a lot of our songs sound like The Strokes.
Yeah, that comparison, we get that a lot.
Yeah.
Dude, I gotta see y'all at a show. We gotta get them to show. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I want to book y'all somewhere now.
Yeah, book us a
Chris,
show.
get in my DMs right now. Or Spencer at 19.
We've played here before too at Big Al.
Y'all have played here.
Yeah,
We
Ben
need,
stood
we
on
need
this
to
couch.
do. I think we need to do that again and have music here.
Mhm.
I think that would be cool.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, this guy, he has this like sick fascination, obsession with KEXP. So, I mean, I'm sure he would like some sort of setup where, you'd play a song and wax poetic about it for another 10 minutes, and then play another song.
Well, we get to wax
Ad
poetic
nauseam.
for like
It's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Or
With no
more
breaks.
longer,
With no
maybe.
breaks.
Yeah.
as well.
With no breaks.
yeah.
Dude, I love it. So, do you guys have like music online? Like, are you guys on like Spotify and Apple and
Yeah.
the things?
Yeah, we're on all those online music platforms. We haven't released music in a while. We're trying to put a new album out, but our first album is on all those different streaming platforms.
So, what does that look like? Do you guys have the music? You just need to like put it on an album? Like, because I'm not a musician, so I don't know how this works. Like, you just have it all just waiting to do things with it?
Well,
Or
we've
like
been,
life happens, right? I'm sure we all have like day jobs and stuff, and we'll talk about. He's usually my food person on Mondays. He's got to get a fill in tonight. I love it.
yeah, Jerel smokes. Plug. yeah,
Yeah, we'll talk
good.
about that later.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, definitely life has played a role, but yeah, we've been recording our second album. It was a really different process. Like our drummer is also an audio engineer, so we're just doing it with him.
When?
But when you're just casually doing it at your drummer's house, it's you get distracted. Maybe a few too many beers, and so that's probably happened at a few recording sessions. And so yeah, we've been recording it for years, and we wanted to sound really good. So it's been like numerous kind of like retracking and like remixing. Like we just had another mixing session actually in Austin this past weekend because he lives out in Austin, and I'm like, okay, hopefully this is final, but we always refinalize it, so I doubt it's final. So it's just like over and over again. And it's also our singer needs to hurry up and finish the last few songs with lyrics.
Oh, we're calling out the singer.
We're calling
I
out the
love it.
singer. We're
Oh,
calling
We've been
out
calling
Roy.
him out for maybe 2-3 years.
Yeah.
Oh no,
at our
we're
shows
calling
and
him
stuff.
out. Okay.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's not here to defend himself. But
No, it's
yeah.
it's
We
taken
can
a
phone
while.
a friend. We should call him.
Yeah, it's to the point where some of the earlier songs we've recorded for this album, it's almost like we want to re-record it because, like we mentioned, our drummer is an audio engineer, so his skills have matured a lot since then, and also his equipment has increased in value and gotten better over time as well. So, yeah, it's drawing the line somewhere between wanting to get it better and also understanding that you could work on something for the rest of your life and never be 100% happy with it as well. So. It's a balance.
We were thinking we started recording the second album almost 5 years ago. Like it was like I remember we were like masked up during COVID and we were starting to record this album.
Yep.
So.
Oh, you guys were really like trying to be all like
early
legit with
COVID.
it.
Yeah, it was like
Aw.
early COVID. This was like I think our first session was probably like July 2020 or something. It was like
Yep.
kind of crawling out of my house for the first time and like recording.
Do you think COVID affected like the music scene here in Houston and venues and just?
I think it made it better. Yeah.
You think it made it better?
I think like post-COVID it is because I think, and I'm not going to call out anything too specific.
No, you
but
don't
like,
have to.
The old music scene was a little cliquey, and I think it was like the same 10 bands would get booked everywhere, and they'd get all these articles about them and get like opening spots on festivals, and then you'd go to the show, and it'd be like, this was back when like hipsters were popular, so it'd be like 3 guys with the curly beards, and so it's like all this hype for like actually nothing. And then, but it was that same. I feel my anger boiling as I think about it, because like you could not break into that scene.
He's like,
If you were not part of that scene, you were not going to break into that scene. But like again, like I feel like post-COVID, there's been a lot more of like a DIY kind of ethos to it, and it's a lot more welcoming and like
Yeah, that crowd that he's talking about, they all got work from home jobs during COVID and then had babies, like pandemic babies.
Probably true.
And their bands broke up by the time people came back. So that's why he's saying it's good. It actually was more of an opportunity creator for us, if anything.
Because I think I feel like us being on the edge of like 2 generations a bit, like the millennial, the older, like we're right between like millennial and Gen Z, and like the millennial people did not vibe with us, but the Gen Z, like we're old now. Like a lot of our fans are like easily 10 years younger.
Well, we
than us.
also find that a lot of that crowd, it was leaning more towards like Tame Impala, Tori Moi vibes.
It was back when everyone was ripping off Mac DeMarco, basically.
Yeah, or like Mild High Club, to drop another band name of that era. And we find that a lot of the younger generation now seems to be more into like
Rocking
punk
out a
rock,
bit.
like
Yeah.
you think it's because I hear it on a TikTok?
It probably plays a role, I would think. Yeah.
Yep.
I would think. And nothing wrong with that, if it introduces them to good music. I can't begrudge that.
No, I laugh. I have a 15-year-old daughter that's like, well, show me something. And I'm like, yeah, no, I've heard like.
You were there. You were there when it happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, oh, God. I'm old. Do you want to say something? You keep picking up the mic.
Well, no, he mentioned Mac DeMarco, and I just had to chime in because, again, that was a whole era.
Yeah, it was.
There. It was
And
a
don't get me wrong.
whole era.
I
But,
love Mac
I
DeMarco.
love
Yeah.
Mac DeMarco, for real. But
But
like,
you probably know what I mean. A lot of bands were kind of ripping him off. though.
Exactly.
Yeah.
so, yeah,
He's
no,
like
so just,
on-
I know exactly what y'all talking about that.
Yep.
And so, I guess post-COVID, like, all those bands kind of break up or they have life, right? And so you have this new kind of look on the local music scene. So how has that helped y'all?
Yeah, I mean, I think, again, it's just more welcoming. Like, I'll shout out Johnny and Jeffer, who run House of J. Like, they aren't cliquey at all. They'll give any new band an opportunity, and they happen to really, really like us. So they gave us a chance and then kept putting us on shows. But it's not just us. They'll put a lot of new bands on. So, like, I'd be kind of annoyed if it was me playing with the same 3 bands over and over. There's always new bands. They're always being welcoming.
Well, and how can fans be introduced to new things if it's always the same
Right, yeah.
group of people? And do not come at me. I have said this on this podcast before. I love these bands that I'm about to mention. Hold on Hollywood, Lucid Illusion, 307, Kerosene Shores. Those were bands a couple years ago that always seemed to be playing together, right? Like,
Right.
they're very good. They're very good, but they were always together. So I'm always like, well, like, how can somebody, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
get into your circle or get, and now sadly some of those bands are not together. right? So our scene's changing a lot. I'd say a little bit, but it's changed honestly a lot in the last 3 years. I totally get the clicky thing, right?
Yeah.
Because if we are saying, okay, hashtag support local music, that's a big thing that a lot of my sponsors and all of us are support local music. You really shouldn't gatekeep and you shouldn't be clicky,
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
I see, because when I'm vending at shows, I see people go to shows and not even stay for an entire show. I try to encourage, okay, if you're going to see your friend in their second spot, third spot, stay for one more. I get
Right.
it. We're all older. We all jobs, kids, whatever. Just try to stay for like one more.
At least stay
Yeah.
for a song. I mean,
Because you might hear something that you like. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
You might really sometimes even be surprised.
but you
Right.
can never be angry as
what you hear.
the person on our side, as the performer. I mean, anyone that comes there, they're already coming voluntarily. So all you can do is ask them to give it a shot. But you got to
Sometimes it's
remember
not
that-
voluntary, dude. Sometimes we like drag people there, basically.
Yeah, we have. Yeah,
It's
But
like, get in the van, we're going.
those are also the people that are usually stuck for the rest of the show because they don't have a ride as well.
Do you think that's why a lot of people can only go to maybe like one show in a weekend because Houston is so separated? Do you know what I mean? Okay, or even in a night. So sometimes there's something happening at like Scout Bar, BFE, and 19th Hole, and White Oak,
Yeah.
all at the same time.
Oh, I think that definitely hurts. I mean, there's been like numerous like Houston press articles about why doesn't Houston have a good music scene
I
conventionally.
ask it
yeah.
every podcast. I can't like.
And I think that plays a role because like I went to school in Austin, so I saw kind of what that music scene looks like, which is like a conventional.
That's where I'm
conventional
from.
music-
I'm not
okay.
a Houstonian. So.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Yeah.
Leander High School,
Gotcha.
before toll roads were a thing there. So yeah,
Yeah. Austin's changed a lot. but
and it has
yeah.
changed a lot since I was there. It's very California-ish.
Yeah, I barely recognize.
I'm
it.
looking
Yeah.
at my sound guy because he has family that lives in California. So I'm like, please keep being my sound person. But yes, no, Austin's definitely changed. But they have 6th Street, right? And
Right.
like,
And 8th Street, the Red River District.
Yep.
They have a lot of, so you can just go show to show there. So yeah, I think that definitely hurts. But I also think in Austin, it's a little bit too competitive because there's too much going on. And so there's too many bands and too many shows on a night. So
Yeah,
you're all
we've
competing
also
with each other.
seen friends in other bands in Austin. And we've been to shows where there's like just us watching or something like that.
because there's so much.
There's
Yeah.
too
There's
much
just
sometimes,
so
yeah.
much. The oversaturation of 6th Street, is that what it is? Where you could literally like,
Like we were part of South by
You can-
Southwest one year.
Unofficial
Yeah,
South
like
by
a
Southwest.
loose-
he's
Loosely
throwing that out
associated.
there. He's
Yeah.
like, we're gonna get a cease and desist. Or
I know, we're going to get sued, Jerel. What are you doing?
Well, I didn't even play that show actually.
That's true, but you can still get sued.
But I thought it was a South by Southwest parallel show.
Yeah, it's called, they do a bunch
Loosely
of
related.
unofficial showcases.
But the
yes.
point is that I mean, if you're participating in a festival that big and there's a dozen other shows at the same time,
Right.
not very many people are going to trickle down to your show.
Ours was the one that night that wasn't free, so obviously no one's going to the $5 show when everything else around it is free.
Okay, yeah.
So that was poor planning. Yeah. But
I
yeah,
mean, but that is cool though to even be a part of the unofficial side of.
yeah, we've done a few unofficial showcases. Like I remember we did another one. This was back when I was at UT my senior year, and it was like
See?
something
I
where.
knew that's why I liked him.
Are you a Longhorn as well?
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Yes.
Okay.
He's like, don't even get her started, please. Do not get her started on football right now.
Hook 'em horns.
Yeah, it's a
there we
whole
go.
thing. It's a whole thing.
Dro went to Georgia, but yeah.
That's okay.
Georgia Tech.
It's okay.
But yeah, no. I
Better than being an Aggie. So it's okay.
true. If my parents
Keep
listen to
going.
this now, they're going to be angry. But yeah.
Are they Aggies?
They're Aggies.
Yeah.
But me and my brother went to UT, so yeah. But yeah,
You
no,
did that to rebel, didn't you?
a little bit. But they kind of supported me. They're like, you're a musician. I'll say it. College Station has no music going on. You probably should be in Austin. Culturally, it's a better fit. So yeah.
No, but you're in a honky tonk band, right? I mean, I'm sure the honky tonk scene is better in
Are
What
college.
you in a-
honky tonk? I think he's just gaslight, right? I don't even know.
I
what
was
you're
like,
talking
wait, are
about.
you in other bands?
You play the fiddle with your family.
No, that was like a one-off thing. My dad wanted me. My dad loves country music, so he basically forced me to play fiddle with this guy like twice. But
Okay, it's pretty. You can play the fiddle though. That's.
yeah, it's like one of those skills that I'm like not proud of, but
I can't play anything, dude. I'm gonna start taking like lessons at Guitar Center or some shit, so I know how to play an instrument. Like, I don't know how to play anything.
3 of us in the band actually were in orchestra
Dude,
together
seriously?
in high
Yeah.
school.
Okay, so you always knew. Did y'all always know you wanted to be musicians? Like, when I grow up, this is what I want to do.
Yeah, I mean, I assumed I'd make more money doing it. So, like you know, it's like you kind of have to have a day job now, but it's still pretty cool what we've been able to do.
We've
But
probably lost less money than most musicians have.
because we
I
haven't
would
gone on
say.
a tour yet. If we went on a tour,
Oh,
we'd
yeah.
lose a lot of money. Yeah.
And we're not big gearheads either. We're not buying guitars left and well,
Our
some
drummer's
of-
a big gearhead.
Yeah, some of us are.
If our drummer were here, he'd probably be rambling about gear by now, I think. But yeah, no, I mean.
Oh, y'all are
yeah.
totally doing this again with the whole band. I hate to tell y'all that.
Let's do it. Let's bring them down.
We're
Well, we got to
totally-
play songs next time too.
We can,
Yeah,
and we can put y'all's music through
That's a cool idea.
into the podcast. Yeah.
Yeah, round 2, we can be a return guest.
Yep.
But,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, our friend Scott also wants to come on the show.
Oh yeah.
I think I mentioned that to you. I forget what his
Wallflower.
Yeah,
Shout out
Wallflower.
Wallflower. Yeah.
I love it. I love that this is our Monday spot because you usually are my food person, not to veer off, but
Yep.
what is your other side business? Because rock stars do have day jobs.
Yeah. So my other side business is a barbecue food pop up. My business partner is in Mexico right now, actually, so that's why we're not cooking today. And we have La Diva Tacos cooking today, but
Which are really good. Shout out.
oh yeah,
I tried
super good,
some.
super spicy today.
No, it was funny. He didn't put any salsa on mine, so I went out, and he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry," and I was like, "No, I'm white. It's okay. You probably didn't think I'd like it."
Put mayonnaise on it
It's
instead.
okay.
Yeah.
I was like,
Honey mustard or something. Like
"It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay."
But yeah, that's just another side business I have.
And it's good. It's really good. You've been doing it here at Big Al. Where else do you do
That's
it at?
right.
Are you just like open? People can hit you up to do pop ups?
Yeah. We do catering and things like that. And then another regular pop up that we have is at Under the Radar Brewery every other Thursday for the run club over there called Radar Runners.
Wait, where? Under the Radar Brewery?
Yep.
It's in Midtown.
It's a
Is that
museum
new?
district. No, they've been around since I think 2010s or so.
I guess you could say it's under the radar.
No, I'm being serious.
It's,
I'm like,
um,
how do I not know of this
it's-
place that you
it's-
speak of?
It's like it's 2 blocks away from Axelrad.
Really?
Yeah, it's right next to Axelrad.
That's probably why.
But yeah, that's a run club that I've been part of for more than 3 years now. Is
And you do the
Thursdays
run
there.
club here, yeah?
Oh yeah, and we do the run club here at Big Al Run Club Wednesdays at 7 p.m.
Love it.
Yep.
I love it. Y'all have a good turnout for that? Because it's grown, right? You guys have been doing it for like a year
Yeah,
now?
it's been growing. It's tough to get people to come when it's dark outside, and of course when it's cold and rainy. But now that daylight savings has swung back the other way, it's getting better. But yeah, we have aspirations to grow this year again in the summer.
I love it.
It's fun.
Watch. I'll come watch. One Wednesday, I'm going to come, and y'all are going to be like, holy shit.
Sometimes I show up for the barbecue, but like Sans running, no running.
Yeah,
just the
I'm not
barbecue.
running. We'll
Yeah.
walk. Me and you can walk. I can
Yeah.
like bring my puppies, and we can just walk and
Chill.
chill and talk
Yeah.
about music.
Yeah. That's more my speed.
Yeah.
Literally. Yeah.
To that. Do you have a day job that you want to talk about?
I don't know if that I want to talk about.
He's
I
like,
mean,
no.
I'm an environmental consultant, so consulting, the client's always right. So hence, after this interview, I have to go back and work more. So yeah, it's like I'm way overworked. They kind of hate my job. Like I have the most like intense job hours wise in the band, so they get mad at me because I'm never like.
Is it hard to like balance? Probably, I guess, yeah, work and
I'm tired all the time, but yeah, but it's fun. I mean,
just your
yeah.
job title just gave me a little bit of anxiety. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, I mean, it gives me anxiety every day. But yeah, I don't know. I'm someone who likes to stay busy, so like I wish I had a little more unstructured time. Like I always can squeeze in the band, but it's like sometimes it's nothing in between. It'll be like on busy work weeks, it's like work, band, those things. Yeah.
okay, so what if somebody was like came to a show and heard you guys and was like, I want you guys to go on tour. Could you quit your job?
I could do well.
Like cash in all your vacation time? Is that
I
what-
never take.
He's
I'm
laughing.
bad about,
He's like,
I'm bad
corporate
about
job.
never using my vacation. So I have a bunch of vacation built up. So I'm like, screw it. I'll just go on tour. Yeah. So I have the vacation to do it.
We've been talking about doing a tour without quitting our jobs.
Yeah.
You could doing on the
soon.
weekends, a Texas
Exactly.
tour, right? Like
Yeah,
San
broken up
Antonio,
tour.
Austin, Dallas.
Well, see, I
Exactly.
actually had the idea of this summer doing like a bigger tour, but our drummer has done that with another band. He said like when you're not on a label and you don't really have like a huge following, it's really not worth it to play like Louisville, Kentucky on a Wednesday night to nobody. So we actually had the plan of doing it more on the weekends. Like
Dude, your
just doing
social
several
media
weekend
game would
runs.
have to be on like
He runs that.
point. You'd
Yeah.
have to have like so many followers. Like, you'd literally have to have it break down. Probably it's like, this is where my followers are in Louisville, Kentucky,
Yeah.
to make it worth driving to Louisville, Kentucky.
Yeah, ideally
a
we'd have like
Wednesday.
a fixer, so to speak, to use a Anthony Bourdain parts unknown term, but a contact within that city that would kind of help us find a
Find
venue
that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
and get a built-in crowd. We have a couple fixers, so to speak, in a couple different cities. One city we specifically want to target is
I didn't know that was a job, dude. That should be my job for Houston.
tell me-
the
tell
fuck,
me that,
like
like,
the
what-
fuck is that?
That's a new
That's
term.
a real job.
That's a new term.
That's the
We-
first time I've heard
Well,
that
so let me-
on this
so
I guess-
podcast
Tell
before.
us.
I'll explain the origin of the term before I explain how I kind of commandeered it for a different purpose. But on Anthony Bourdain's show, when he goes to a different city, he typically has like a fixer that introduces him to different restaurants to go to or guides that'll take him around. And the fixer may or may not show up on the show itself, but they're kind of like the local guide that fixes everything for them. So that's kind of what I'm
So I mean, building a contact within that city.
Yeah.
Right, through Instagram or like
Exactly,
wherever,
exactly.
And then kind of just letting them know, hey, we're coming to these cities, help us out.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Type
Yep.
shit.
Well, and that's why it's also smart to sometimes take shows with bands from out of town where they're from a city you want to visit, because then you make that connection.
Networking, right?
Yeah.
Like the whole networking thing
Exactly.
Yep.
is super important.
Yep.
Can we take a break for a second? Love it. Okay, so here's a question. Like, do you guys have any shows coming up?
We have one on April 12th at the end.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. I'm a little worried they double booked that date, though, because someone else has reached out to me saying, I thought we were playing out April 12th at the end, so we need to get that sorted out.
And now, dude, I will
Yeah.
fact check that as soon as we get off here, because now I'm
Yeah.
like, wait, where's my phone? I was like, I'm sure there's a flyer somewhere.
Have you been to the end before?
I have not been to the end.
Okay.
There's a couple places I have not been to. I just recently went to Trip 6,
Yeah, we
Oh,
played there
yeah.
a few times, yeah.
which is also very,
Super trippy.
yeah,
spot.
very DIY,
yeah.
very DIY.
Very DIY. Yeah.
I think it'd be cooler if more places like that would pop up. I don't know.
No, I
Don't
agree.
get mad at me, Frankie and Tom. You know, people that own businesses, but it would be cool if there were some.
Well, it's always the nicest
Rogue
people who run
pop-up
that place.
places.
Like now, shout out Summer who books Trip 6. You know, like they're just always very nice and like not always about like, oh, you didn't make enough for the bar, you're not getting paid. You know, it's like, yeah, we have booked shows there. They've been like very nice to work with.
Oh, and she's like the most enthusiastic member of the crowd every time we
Yeah.
play there as well. She was pushing around this guy in a grocery cart.
Dude, I love it.
last
Yeah.
time.
They are very welcoming. So the whole reason I was there this weekend. So Blade Job that was on the podcast, love them. They had their pre-op EP
Okay.
release party there.
Cool.
Dude, it was cool.
Yeah, I'll have to check them out. I don't know if I've listened to them, but is that out on Spotify?
Yep.
Okay,
They
cool.
just officially released everything. I think it got posted. I saw the link actually right before we started the podcast. Because they were like, here it is. So that's cool that you guys have been there.
Yes.
You mentioned 19th hole. We played.
Have y'all played
One
up at
show-
19th Hole?
Yeah.
One show
Because
there.
they're
Long time ago.
always looking. Shout out to all of them. They're always looking to book some people.
Yeah, we played one up there. There's kind of a funny story from that show. Do you remember that?
Yeah. Go ahead and just tell it.
Oh, Roy's gonna kill me for telling this one.
If he even listens to this,
Sorry, Roy.
he
Yeah.
probably won't hear it.
Well, and he's this was a few years ago, and I feel like he's just matured as a person. He won't do this anymore. But I guess he didn't look at where spring was. He's like, dude, spring is so far. I'm not going. Like he's just like, I'm not going. He's like, he didn't realize how far it was, and it's like, I'm not going to this show. So I was like gearing up to, and you don't want me to sing. I was gearing up to sing and play bass at the same time, and thankfully, like it was like from TV show. At the very last second, he walks through the door, and I'm like,
Like, yes,
"Thank you,
you're like,
Roy."
thank
Yeah.
you. like Saved by the Bell, literally.
Yeah, it's like, how'd you not know spring is far? Anyway.
It is far. I'm
Yeah.
assuming you guys live here in Houston. This is like technically my neighborhood bar, right? I live very close to here.
Yeah.
I live
in
about 10 minutes away. I live around Buffalo Bayou.
Dude, that's a hike to go up there.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a hike to go to Scout. I've been to a lot of shows down at Scout Bar.
Yeah. Those like more suburban bars, like also BFE Rock Club up in Cypress.
Yep,
like that's a
that's a
drive
hike.
too. In fact, I was late to. That's another story. I was late to a show there once. Like I literally joined. It was like another project, not this one. I joined the band on stage. Like they'd had to start without me, and I like roll in and like.
Oh, I do remember that
Yeah.
show. Yep.
Yeah. The traffic was bad. I don't know what to say. But
It is. It's hard. It's
yeah, the
hard.
show was a disaster. Actually, I think that was like our tour homecoming show for something else. Like again, like Texas tour when we released our first album, and like I was playing with another band too that I was late for, and then we went on, and then another band went on that was had some political views that didn't align with the venue, and they're like, "You're never invited back." And I was technically the promoter on this show, and like no one showed up. The band pissed off the promoter, and they're like, "Yeah, we didn't make." I don't think we made money on that one, so that was kind of a train wreck show too. So,
That sucks.
but it's funny to look back on those shows now. Like I like almost enjoy talking about the train wreck in hindsight. It makes for a good story, I guess.
Yeah, they're good stories, and you've obviously learned probably from them.
I think I'm a better promoter now than I was then, and didn't show up, an hour late to my own show. So
Yeah, Ben just put a show together for us with Big Bill.
shout out Big Bill.
Yeah,
from
pretty
Austin.
cool band from Austin.
Yeah,
We played at Kickback Bar.
yeah. Kickback
pretty
Bar's
good
awesome.
show.
Yeah.
Dude, that's cool. So
Yeah.
you guys are actually like venturing out of Houston and.
Or well, this was for an Austin band in Houston.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So they were here.
Yeah.
So we were their fixer to
yeah,
make a call back.
it's true. Yeah. And there's a local band. I don't know if you've heard of a band called Swimwear Department.
I have not.
They're cool, and they like really help promote the show too. So they're awesome guys, and like they're fans of Big Bill, and kind of helped also assemble the show. So it was a good show though. Like a lot of people showed up, and yeah, so that was a good one. So like I feel like we've improved as probably musicians and promoters when we put on our own shows as well. So
That's cool.
yeah.
Dude, I love that. Networking, do you think it's important to network with other bands when you guys have shows?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
I think, I think it pays to be nice and not be standoffish when you're a musician. Usually, yeah.
Usually.
Yeah, maybe not always, but
Usually.
yeah.
Yeah, you got to be generous about it too, because you can put in all the effort and be supportive of other bands on the bill and try to make an effort and watch them. And then when it's your time to play, there's bands out there that couldn't care less, it seems like
Right.
sometimes, to hear you. But that's just the nature of the business.
Yeah.
I mean, I try to be very nice and giving. Like, I've booked bands through Houston with the idea they'd get us back, and maybe they don't. But I'm like, okay, I learned. Maybe I won't book them another Houston show, but I don't regret like giving them a chance. Even if they don't reciprocate. Like, I at least want to put in the effort initially to be kind of nice and helpful to people,
Yep.
especially when promoting Houston's music scene.
Right.
But we were definitely more naive, I think, when we were younger, especially when we were playing shows as high schoolers
Oh yeah.
and stuff like that.
I bet y'all have learned a lot, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's why we've been a band for such a long time. Is like this was like our band. Like we learned how to be a band, and like I think a lot of people have like multiple projects, and like their embarrassing high school band like breaks up, and then they form better projects. We've just like had all those lessons just with this band over
really
the
cool,
years.
actually.
Yeah.
I mean, really, y'all haven't been in a bunch of different bands. It's just really been
Always this.
y'all. No other side projects. You guys are all just
I play in a jazz band sometimes.
okay.
Yeah. Which I really didn't know anything about jazz. So I was like, oh, I don't know, I'll give it a try. Why
Dude,
not?
that's cool.
yeah,
Our
branch
drummer is
out.
in like 4 or 5
Yeah.
other bands.
I think that's a drummer
Drummers are
thing.
all-
I
yeah.
think that's a drummer thing.
There's not enough drummers. They have to play
Yeah.
in different bands. Yeah.
Why, dude, Joseph? You know who I'm thinking about? I'm thinking about like immediately think of Joseph. Like, why is that a thing? Why is there a shortage of drummers here in Houston?
It's everywhere, I think. It's too loud. Like, no one.
Yeah.
Like, I remember growing up.
So if you like
yeah,
live in an apartment, like where can you practice at?
Right.
Right.
No, even
Yeah.
as a kid, it
no
just
one's
takes up-
parents want that.
it takes up too much space in the house.
Yeah, and it's too loud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and it's like finding the right mix, right, with a drummer, right? Because I know, I forget the band that we had looked at, but they replaced their drummer, and it just has to sound right? I mean,
Yeah.
you just have
Yeah.
to find.
Midlife,
And so,
midlife
and so
Antichrist went
Joseph,
to a
the person
drummer.
that
yeah.
she's talking about, like he's he's too good for these bands. I keep
He's
telling
in
him.
like
I keep
4 or
telling
5
him that,
bands.
you
It's
know what I
crazy.
mean? So.
Yeah, it's crazy. Drummers, dude. Fucking drummers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
we had a drummer. Our first drummer, Jake Ottmer.
actually second drummer technically,
Oh, okay.
but yeah. What about Jake?
No,
What's
nothing.
your
I just
Jake
want.
story?
I mean,
Shout out Jake Ottmer.
we're very nostalgic about Jake. It
He
was
was a good dude.
It was a good time. But after that, we went through a couple other little tryouts with
Oh,
a few
yeah.
other
Because it needs to
drummers.
be a fit, right? Because
Yeah.
you guys have been
Yeah.
together for
Yep.
so long
Right.
that it's got to be a good.
And,
Like
yeah.
Rowdy, the band. They're very.
Are they rowdy?
They are, and they have a very specific look and a very specific sound. You would need to probably be a Trump supporter,
It's a
Republican,
it's a whole thing. It's a
have a
whole-
jacket with no sleeves
I don't know.
to fit
They
in with
just
them.
turn like it's just like five guys just like
They're very rowdy.
they're the same vibe.
Yeah,
all of
it's
them.
crazy.
Just like very. Let's get a beer. They're very.
They're rowdy.
yeah,
The name
they're-
really
they're
does fit
rowdy.
them.
Yeah. I feel like it'd also
Shout out
be-
to Roddy.
I feel like it'd also be funny to have like a band named Rowdy that's like the opposite of Rowdy.
Right.
Yeah,
It's just
that'd be
like-
cool too. Like very chill, very quiet, indie pop
Very
or something.
fucking like emo and shit.
Yeah.
Just like black sweaters.
Hi,
just-
we're Rowdy.
Yeah.
They're like staring at the floor the whole time. Yeah.
Dude, I love it. Oh, please, some young teenagers do that, please, and DM me, please. Oh my gosh, I love it. Okay, so you guys know you're gonna have to do this again with the whole band.
Yeah.
That's a thing we're gonna have to do. Do we have any shout outs to do to anybody?
Let's see. I feel like I covered the main ones. I wanted to shout out, House of J, Johnny, Jeffer, Electra.
Go there.
Who else? Is there anyone else? I think that's the main one. Anyone else you want to shout out?
Yeah, we shouted out our best friend of the band, all capital letters, Scott Leonard.
All capital letters. I'm gonna put that in the bio.
He's run door for us. He's run merch for us. Yeah.
Yep.
I love it.
Yep.
Excited. Was this that bad?
No,
It was
no.
fun.
Yeah, we. I feel like it's easy for me to talk about the band. We have like 12 years of content to go.
Y'all
over,
have a
so
lot. Y'all have a lot. Y'all have so much.
We could do another hour.
That's
easily,
what I'm
yeah.
like. Okay, Mondays, Big L. Y'all should stay open an hour later. Just on Mondays.
Yeah, so we can tell our story, obviously. Yeah.
So we don't keep your bartenders here. Because that's always my thing. I'm like, shit. I don't feel so bad when other people walk in, though. 'Cause then I'm like, it's not us. It's like,
Yeah, as
dang,
long as
it's-
people are drinking, it's not too bad.
Yeah.
like it's not me. Oh my gosh, we're definitely going to have to do this again. Are we cooking next Monday? Are you cooking next Monday?
I think that's the plan.
Yeah, we're cooking next
I'll confirm
Monday.
with Charlie. I need to talk to him about it.
Dude, the food is so good. I'm never gonna lose weight coming here on Monday. It's like it's a thing. I love it so much. Seriously, come hang out with us on Mondays. Even if I don't have a podcast, I will be here on a Monday. We'll be doing something even fun with just like we'll figure it out. It's gonna be fun. Every Monday, come to Big Al. It's my happy place. I love it. I had my baby shower here when I was pregnant with Freya. Literally, like that's how much I love this place.
How'd you discover Big Al? Like, how'd you come to love Big Al?
So, actually, funny story. Hashing. So I was in a running club, but
Okay.
I was part of the Houston Hash Harriers. And they did a beer release that Los Animales like 3 years ago. And it was an IPA. I was not an IPA person.
Yeah.
Came here with a friend from the neighborhood. Dude, like fell in love with it.
Instantly.
And tried to, I was actually bartending at a Tapwork 30 over in the Energy Corridor. And I was like, dude, what do I need to do to get like a pony keg over to us? I think I was here on a Thursday. I called over here on a Monday and it was gone.
Wow.
I was like, what?
Must be a pretty good beer.
Yeah, dude, it was so good. And then I think they did one more run of it, but I was pregnant with Freya. And I was like, seriously? Like, how dare you guys? No, everybody here is just always been so nice. You almost feel like family when you come here.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I mean,
Yeah.
everybody's just always so nice, and it's chill. I love when the whole remodel happened.
This couch,
I know.
I've fallen asleep on this couch too many times.
It gave it a whole new like super chill vibe.
Oh yeah, for sure. But what was that bar you mentioned in Energy Corridor?
Tapwork 30.
Where is
yeah.
that?
So it used to be right off at Enclave Parkway. They're
Okay.
closed. But at the time, they literally had like 30 tabs. So
Wow.
it was like,
Good selection.
yeah, we had a couple spaces, and I was like, bro, this would be, and it was gone.
West Side Houston
Yeah.
bars are all about the number of taps.
Oh, is
like
that a thing?
Kirby Ice House is always bragging about
Yeah, the
the
number.
longest bar. Texas' longest bar. Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say we grew up kind of near there. We grew up off Barker Cypress.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, no,
Oh.
we know the area. Yeah.
Well, and I think that's like, so Houston's so big, I think that people sometimes don't venture out of their own neighborhoods either, right? Like, I lived in the Energy Corridor. I stayed in the Energy Corridor. You know what I mean?
Same. Yeah.
I think people stay. So when I started like hashing and getting to like venture out into some different neighborhoods, I got introduced to some, and I was like,
Yep.
damn,
Yep.
there's some cool ass places
Yep.
outside of my neighborhood.
And there's
Yeah.
more to Houston
Shout out
than
to
just-
Uber and Lyft and stuff. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like
yeah.
drink responsibly, like don't drink and drive.
Yeah.
But like, there are really some really cool places.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say there's more to
Inside of
Houston than
Houston.
just Heights
Yeah,
and Montrose
Montrose,
and
yeah.
Spring Branch
yeah,
and
there's-
yeah,
there's a lot more to the city than
it's crazy.
Well, speaking of Bourdain, I think when he came to Houston, all his restaurants were like actually between 610 and Bevel 8 because you get
Yep.
like Chinatown and like Little India and all that stuff. But,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
crazy. It's super diverse. It's crazy. Venture out, go to shows, stay for one more band, please. If you go and smoke, take your smoke break, come back inside, at least hear one song or two. No, I call it the wave, because I will be vending in Scout and I'll see like a band, right, and everybody goes to smoke,
Yeah.
Yep.
and then it's like half that maybe comes. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
this
it's
guy likes
like,
to go out there in the patio and try to yell and get everyone to come in.
just come back.
That's a smart
Yeah.
idea. If you're in a band before you play, that's my tip is tell everyone outside that you're playing. Maybe you'll get a few more people
Seriously.
inside.
You can
Yeah.
try. Yeah.
Doesn't
You
always
can try.
work. Sometimes you get a lot of awkward / angry glances, but you can try.
I love it. I've had so much fun with you guys. Yay. Okay, one more time. When's your next show?
April 12th,
At
the end.
the end. I love it. Make sure to check them out. I will actually probably go to that show, so that'll be cool.
Right on. Yeah,
Cool.
it should come out.
Yeah, dude, I'm totally gonna go. It'll be fun. Yay. Anything else? No?
Nope. Sounds
No?
good.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Thanks, up.